Welcome to part 2 of Restomod, my BMW M5, presented by eBay Motors. Today we are diving under the hood. That's right, everybody. Get ready for an exciting episode as we begin working on the engine bay here. This thing is in need of a cosmetic refresh, as well as fixing a bunch of leaks and whatever else we can unearth under here, because I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of stuff.
I know you guys are probably thinking I've just gone completely on vacation because there's another old BMW in the shop and I want to have nothing to do with it, but the truth is I want to make amends to PT and to maybe some of you BMW fanboys out there by turning some wrenches on this thing and showing it a little bit of respect, because this is a pretty cool car. I think it looks amazing. And yes, the engine bay looks like it's 31 years old. It's pretty old and tired looking, but a little bit of TLC, I think we can have it looking pretty darn good. And the good news about this motor is it doesn't seem to have the bearing issues that we've struggled with in past, shall we call them, classic BMW builds. Well, that came out way easier than I expected, and I guess that's the beauty of a simple inline six without a turbocharger on it. It's just pretty easy to get at everything. And
are you taking all of the BMW cursing away? Because
I'm not there yet, PT.
Easy.
But
that looked too easy.
I feel some healing happening, everyone, and I'm pretty impressed by this plenum actually. And of course, like a proper M car, it does have ITBs, and this plenum feeds those. And it's got this cool little can on the bottom. And first we were like, is that part of like an evap, charcoal? But no, it's a catch can. They've integrated what appears to be a catch can that actually recirculates back into the oil pan off the bottom of the plenum here, which I think is pretty brilliant because it keeps oily vapors out of your intake system. So kudos to BMW on that.
Look at this though. Doesn't this just look like a big round
log?
Cylinder
yes,
log?
It is a kind of a log shape. It looks more like a manifold from up here. And
right, yeah. When you get down to that part, it's kind of neat, man.
Yeah. And I mean, that big tube that feeds it is impressive. And, it's seen better days, but you do have a solution for that. And I like the M. I'm feeling it here today, PT, but it could also be a W. So, yeah, what are you guys?
W for win?
Maybe we are winning. So far, this thing has not fought us, so I'll take it. With the intake manifold off, it's interesting to get a good look in here and really, see what other issues there may have. And you can see somebody's been in here replacing vacuum hoses with this Hot Boy blue stuff, PT. How do you like the blue silicone hoses?
Technically, DP, I don't love them, but technically, I think BMW had blue hoses. So
really?
Someone was trying to be clever.
Maybe,
I think. I don't know, but
I feel like this car's had a bit of a history of driveway mechanics working on it.
You know what, though? I'm glad to see that the hoses have been done, most of them. Oh, yeah, what do we got
a little
there?
Broken cap that came off one of these little fellows on the intake. What would you call that? It's like a
distribution block. I don't know, but yeah. It looks like there's
some more blue hose back here. There's one here that I don't think was connected to anything. I don't recall us disconnecting that when we took the manifold out.
No, I think that's for the emissions pump. Well, I've done a bit of the vacuum lines underneath here, and that went very, very well. We've got some new vibrant hose on there, so I think it's gonna last another 10 years. Then I just remembered NV Auto offers a fuel injector cleaner service. And I thought to myself, you know what? These injectors, they're probably dirty. They've sat around, they're 30 years old. Why not pull them out? And that's where the trouble began. My gripe with this system here is, it's all jammed up here too. This electronics rail here, you can see these are the clips. This is attached. I cannot remove this without breaking these little plastic rivets here. So I don't think BMW intended for this to come out. I don't know how it's designed, but it's a huge pain in the butt. So what I've had to do now is, as you can see, I've removed the rail, you gotta turn it, and now I have to come in and disconnect or pull these little safety clips off of these, oh man, right here, these little clips here, these little metal clips. Pull these off of here, then I can kind of like wiggle the injector out of there. Okay, so now it's loose. Ah, there it goes.
Yeah, look at that.
And there it is. And looking inside of them, they're dirty. I mean, they look clean here, which is good, but I can see the filters are kind of dirty, so this is probably a good thing we're doing. Whether this is gonna improve performance, who knows? But you know what? I'm here, I might as well do it, and you know, NV Auto offers a service, so maybe what I'll have them do is shoot a video to show the before and after of how these flow, and we'll see if this was a waste of time or worth it.
Hey Pete, look what came out of your trusty BMW injectors. That is disgusting.
We jinxed it, DP. We said it was gonna be easy, things were going well, and of course, they've taken a turn for the worst. I saw these hoses down here that run to the brake booster and to the throttle bodies, and they were very cracked and very, very hard. So I decided I would take them off and, you know, hopefully run down to the hardware store, find one that's got a similar bend and go from there, because I can't even find them online. But when I decided to pull this off, I pulled it like that, and the one-way check valve broke, which is not good at all. So at this point, I'm going to have to...
You know where you can find one of those, PT?
I'm hoping eBay.
eBay, brother. You gotta search on eBay.
I know. I'm hoping that one of these is available on eBay. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to look for some, you know, aftermarket solution. But God, it is not looking good right now. So we might need to take a pause here for a second and kind of regroup and rethink.
You know what? While we pause, maybe we should mention we're not just saying eBay because we buy car parts on there for this project. I personally buy a ton of stuff on eBay, so for a laugh, why don't I show you my recent purchases on there?
Yeah.
So on my phone here, just tapping on the eBay app, and if we go to home, my eBay, these are my recent purchases, and as you can see, I have a son that's into trains, everybody. I know that's a weird thing to be into, but it happens. So you can see I bought some variety of trains from Japan because he likes these electric trains that are like designed to have their own battery power, so it's not like the track's electrified, that the train is powered, and you can only get those in Japan for certain ones that he wants. And guess what? You can buy them on eBay and they show up on your door 5 days later from Japan. But I also have some Celica parts here, ordered a whole bunch of stuff here because we're gearing up to put Connie back together again once I get her back from the body shop, which will be happening very soon, everybody. So if I get past all the Celica parts, there's more trains, and then there's more trains. So that's kind of what my life looks like, everybody. Car parts and trains.
I, on the other hand, am using eBay for car parts and only car parts because that's kind of what my life is like. All we do is just buy car parts. I got Evo parts here, I got Civic parts, I got BMW parts, I got Silvia parts, I got RX-7 parts, more Civic parts, BMW stuff. So it is just all car parts. And as you can see, like, for me, the real advantage to eBay is when you purchase something, you get a notification as soon as it's shipped, so you kind of have a clear idea and a timeline of when things are gonna arrive. As soon as it arrives, there's a notification, and it's easy to deal with sellers. So I do find the process to be so much superior to, you know, just going onto a random website being like, oh, look, I can buy this Silvia shift knob. I don't know if it's in stock. I don't know when it's gonna arrive, like how much is shipping. It's all kind of laid out, and that's one of the real big beauties of eBay.
Yeah.
Next up on the hit list is the valve cover here. You can see it needs a full refresh, and we're gonna show you how to do that on a budget in a second. But more importantly, it also needs a new gasket because the side of this engine is coated in grime, and you can see this gasket is just, it's old and frail, and it was likely leaking. So
a BMW with a leaking valve gasket?
I know,
it's
I know.
Shocking news, everybody.
That's just crazy.
Alert the press.
That never ever happens. To bring this valve cover back to life, what we're gonna do is use some aircraft stripper, which I will show you in a second, to get rid of all of the old and faded paint. Then we're gonna come in with some VHT Wrinkle Plus paint, which by the way, can be sourced through eBay. And it's gonna give it almost a factory-like look. Oh wow, as you can see, that aircraft stripper did an amazing job. This thing is like 98% clean and it is ready for our VHT wrinkle paint. There is a trick to this, and the game plan is to spray this once, put it on heavier than what they recommend, and then we're gonna come in with a heat gun and you're gonna see it's gonna cure it and make it look that, like, give it that perfect wrinkle finish. So without further ado, it's time to get the face mask on and give her here. It's really remarkable what this product does. As you guys can see, like, look at this thing. That looks beautiful, doesn't it, DP?
It looks great, yeah.
Man, it looks so, so nice. So while the paint dries on that valve cover, what I'm gonna do is tackle some of the other small odd jobs, and that includes replacing the power steering hoses, because that one, this guy right here, is leaking right at the crimp. So that's gonna be a good fix. That huge puddle that we had underneath will disappear. And I am replacing some sensors as well that I have, like little air lights on inside the car. And of course, this came from FCP Euro. And like I said in the previous episode, if anything like this were to fail again, all you have to do is buy a new one and you can pack this up and send it back. So it's almost like having a warranty for the life of the car, life of the part. So thank you, FCP Euro, for making it such a easy, carefree way to purchase parts these days. Beep, 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 beep. First of all, I'm sure some of you are wondering why we just pulled the gearbox, and that is because the clutch in this car does need a replacement. It has like an extremely heavy pressure plate. I think something is about to fail on it, so I'm trying to be preventative on it. And Dave, was this not the easiest transmission drop that we've done in a very, very long time? Like, this thing came out so smoothly.
Other than those starter bolts, which we didn't need to remove?
Yes. Dave went and removed starter bolts because we thought they went into the bell housing here, and it turns out we didn't need to do that. So not you know, a little bit of extra work. But the thing that you guys will notice is we do have a new transmission jack. For those of you that haven't watched our GTR episode, Dave almost lost his hands because we had a cheapo transmission jack. And this Ranger 1.5 ton unit is phenomenal. It is amazing what you get when you buy a proper setup transmission jack. Like this thing, first of all, our old one didn't go up so high enough.
We'd have to
so we have to like lower the car. We'd be underneath here.
Worst.
And like, look at, watch it. Okay, first of all, this thing pumps up super easy. But look at, it's got the little trigger here where you can come down, look, oh, so slow. Look, with your foot so you can control it like this. Where before we were like churning it and waiting, it was so bad. It's got all of the adjustments on it, so we are pumped to have another proper tool, and of course from Rangers. So, and now we can have a look at the gearbox here. And let me show you, first of all, you see this job, this is a typical BMW issue where the shifter continues to fly off the rod and people are like, oh God, what do I do? Well, this person decided to put some tape on it and it held.
Oh, wait a minute, PT. That's why BMW owners don't know how to use their turn signals, because they got to hold their shift knob on.
Well,
both hands in use.
Maybe, but this one didn't because, you know, he had the yellow tape mod on it. So this gearbox though is extremely filthy, and you know, if you look here, there's a ton of oil running down on this side, and it does seem like it's coming from the head. So that gasket up there was just like pooling oil because it was leaking and running all the way down here. So I think what we're gonna do is give this thing a power wash. Gearbox cleaned up very nicely. However, it did expose something that is scary and intriguing at the same time. You can see there has been a ton of welding done on this gearbox. You can see along here, down here, and if you look inside, it's been pretty much welded from here all the way around to here. And usually that would mean there was probably a flywheel or clutch failure and it marred up the inside and someone's come in to weld it. However, it gets even weirder because see these bosses here, these are actually like sensor provisions. This entire piece has been welded on here, and I'm pretty sure this is from a E28 model car, because the M5s I think had sensors, or the older 535i's had sensors that went in here. So that kind of means this gearbox was, I think, in an E28 for a bit, then it was put in here. This gearbox does work well, so there's really no reason for me to think about replacing it. So I think we will reuse this. If you guys have any information, certainly post in the comments if you've seen something like this done before. And I think at this point, we have run out of time. We are gonna wrap this episode. We've torn into this thing quite a bit. However, there is a lot of stuff that needs to be put back together, and we are like at the finishing stages of getting this thing back together. So that is a good thing. In the next episode, you will see us do that. So once again, thank you to eBay Motors for sponsoring this video series, and we will see you guys in the next one.